How we doing, folks? The old Cougar here. I thought tonight I would run through a different style of video and hopefully give some assistance to not only newer players but other players who have played for a little bit of time but still haven't fully grasped the full technique of what damage causes, module damage and crew injury damage. So let's have a rundown and have a look and see if we can help. When you're in battle and you hit an enemy tank, you will occasionally see above it a yellow or a red icon. That appears above the damaged tank that you've just hit, or a fellow team member is hit. Now these icons indicate that certain modules or crew members have been damaged or injured, each one bearing a different degree of advantage to you for your next shot on. Let's run through the varied icons and the damage that they cause. We'll look at module damage first. If you look at the picture above, you'll see I've numbered them and named them underneath. Now number 1 is engine damage. You got a 45% chance of damage if you hit the engine, and what that causes is it slows the drive speed of the tank down. Now if it goes yellow, it's common damage, the engine power is halved. If it goes red, it becomes critical damage and the tank is halted, it stops, and traverse is impossible. There is also a higher chance of causing an engine fire. Great for burning the tanks out. Look at number 2, the ammo rack. 27% chance of damage if you hit the ammo rack. Slows down the loading of the gun by half. So if he fires a round off at 10 rounds per minute, it then becomes 5 rounds per minute. If it's yellow damage, the loading speed is halved, as I said. If it's red critical damage, we've all been there, the tank is destroyed completely. What we all know as being ammo racked. We love doing it, but we hate getting it done to us. So learning where the ammo racks are is a great advantage. Look at number 3, fuel tank. 45% chance of damage if you hit it, and that causes a chance of fire. If it goes yellow, could result in a fire. If it's red, then you definitely get a fire started. Although the fuel tank icon never goes red, but if it's starting to burn, it's red. Whether that's a bug in the game, I don't know. But there is critical damage and common damage. Number 4, the tracks. You hit the tracks, it's 100% chance of damage. Automatically slows the tank down. Now if it goes yellow, it slows the traverse and the movement of the tank. So if you hit it on the left hand side, it can't turn to the left. If you hit it on the right hand side, it can't turn to the right. But it slows the tank down. Now your critical damage stops the tank dead and the traverse is totally impossible. But if it's yellow, it slows the traverse down and the movement of the tank is slower as well. Something to keep your tab on. And everybody knows that if you critical damage a track, keep tracking it. Track it. You will cause damage to the drive wheels. Number 5, the gun, the barrel. You have a 33% chance of causing damage if you hit it. Now what that causes is a decrease in accuracy, which means that dispersion is also increased. If it goes yellow, fire accuracy is halved, so hitting the target becomes a little bit more harder. If it goes red, then firing the gun is just impossible. It's simply disabled. He can't shoot back at you. He's a dead tank. As far as he can move, he might be able to move, he might be able to turn, he might be able to race away, but he can't fire. Number 6, turret damage. You got a 45% chance of causing damage if you hit it, and what that does is it slows the rotation of the turret down. So if you're sitting to the right hand side of him, he can't turn the turret round quick enough to get you, so it gives you the opportunity to move out the road and possibly get another hit into him. If it's yellow damage, the traverse or the rotation speed is halved. If it's red, the turret just cannot turn at all. It's dead, it's stuck. So if it's pointing to the left hand 45 degrees over the front left hand track, and that's where it sticks until it's repaired. Number 7, the optics, sight damage. If you hit that, it's 100% damage, and the view range is decreased by half, right? So there's no yellow damage on optics, it's always critical damage because they're right above and there's no armour or anything on them. So if the tank has a view range of 250 metres and you hit the optics, the view range is halved and it becomes 125 metres. That's great, especially if you're out with that sort of 125 metres. You then become invisible to the tank. You might have been there possibly beforehand, but if you damage the optics, then you just disappear within 3 seconds, obviously. Right, that's the module damage. We'll run through them later on at a different level and we'll talk about them again, but now let's have a look at the crew injuries and what happens when you hit them. Now, crew injuries, you've got a 33% chance of causing injury to a crew if you hit them, especially with HE rounds. Now look at the first one, the commander. You hit the commander or injure the commander, the view range is like the optics, it's halved. So again, if he has a view range of 250 metres, it can now only see you at a lesser distance of 125 metres. Makes your tank disappear from his view. Unless, of course, you are spotted or respotted by a team member, the red team member that's closer than he is. Something to be watchful for. Number 2, the driver gets injured. The turn-in speed and the drive speed is decreased. So if the tank had a speed of say 30 km per hour, it is reduced then to 15 km an hour. It also makes the hull traverse of the tank a lot less too, as well as the acceleration. So the tank slows down, he can't turn the tank as quick and he can't drive as quick. Number 3, the gunner gets injured. That slows the aiming time down and also the turret traverse speed by half. It also reduces the accuracy of the gun and the dispersion is increased. So the reticle takes longer to reduce in size. You've all seen it, when you're waiting for your reticle to come down to the smallest point before you fire. It takes twice as long for that to happen. So you get a larger radius. Number 4, the loader's injured. It slows down the loading time by half, therefore the firing rate is reduced. So if it fired, as stated before, with your ammo, if it fired 10 rounds a minute, it then becomes 5 rounds a minute. Hitting any crew member will result in the tank losing 25 health points. So it's worth taking into account. And it also gives you extra XP. And this is what we're looking for. Let's go back just a second though in connection to the track module damage. If you hit the tank's front left track, it will cause the tank to spin sideways, showing the right hand side of the tank. If you hit it on the front right hand track, it will cause the tank to spin the opposite way, opening the left hand side of the tank. This can be a great advantage, especially if he has no repair kit, because he is then stuck side on for an easy shot to the weaker armour at the sides. Track damage is a great way of getting a clean shot in the ammo rack or the fuel tanks, causing major damage, possibly a fire or an ammo rack explosion. Great. So as said, there are 2 indicator colours for damage caused, yellow and red. The yellow icons show minor common damage, but can, as stated, slow the operation of the tank down depending on what the modules are. Have a look at them, reverse the tape, have a look at what it causes and study it. Keep a note of it, whether you want to slow the tank down or slow the rate of fire down or reduce the view range, whatever. If the icons are red, it shows major damage has been caused, and that requires a repair kit to fix it, or stay in position, unable to move, fire the gun or turn the turret, etc. It all depends. As I said, hitting the ammo rack with major damage kills the tank. We all love doing it, we all hate it getting done. Hitting the fuel tank with a major damage causes a major fire, and can result in killing the tank completely by fire, burning it out. If you've watched some of my videos, you'll hear me say, "Burn baby burn." I love a fire. Hitting the engine can also result in a fire, as well as halting the tank. Now, it's worth noting that some tanks have engines front and rear. Front engines, they're mainly used for the drive wheels, so damaging them can result in halting the tank, slowing it down or causing damage to the driver because the driver's at the front. To repair the modules, module repair damage, you must use one of the repair kits. Now you've got the opportunity of having a fire extinguisher in your consumables or 2 of the repair kits. Otherwise the damage will remain damaged until the end of the battle. With critical damage though, the module is disabled and turns red. Critical damage is fixed after a specific period of time, after which it becomes common damage, i.e. after a period of time the red changes to yellow. But if you have a repair crew skill trained, which is found under the crew skills of your heavy tanks, the damage is repaired at a slightly quicker pace and will result in full repair over time. Now if you train your crew to level 1, it gives a 4% increase in repair time. Get your crew trained up to level 7 and it gives a 28% increase in repair time. So critical damage to the module can be fixed with a repair kit, which fully restores the module's normal operation, or by training your crew skills in your heavy tanks crews. Pay attention to your damage and only use the repair kits when really required, otherwise let your trained crew fix it quicker than an untrained crew. These wee points are all handy. Another crew skill to help with damage control, again under your heavy tanks, is a firefighting skill. This results in fires being put out at a slightly quicker pace as well. Level 1 will give you 6% increase of extinguishing the fire. Get it up to level 7 and it gives a 42% increase in extinguishing the fire. Although sometimes I have to query that because I've got my crew up to level 7 on fire crew, and I also carry 2 repair kits, and I've seen me getting an engine fire, pressing the repair kit, knowing that I've still got the fire extinguishing crew at 42%, and I've burned out. So if you've got less than half your tank's health points and you get a fire, you've got a quick chance of getting it repaired or extinguished if you've got a repair kit. But even having your crew at level 7 at 42%, if you're less than half, you'll be left with very little health points or none at all. Something you've got to pay attention to. Both those crew skills are worth paying attention to, as I said. They both assist in your own tank's damage control, so check what yours are at and get them up to level 7 as fast as possible. As fast as possible, yeah. I should stop drinking. Right, okay, one more crew skill that is worth taking into consideration, and that's a sniper. Now that skill is trained under your TD crew skills, your tank destroyer crew skills. Now as we're discussing tank damage, module damage, crew injuries and all the rest of it, training your sniper skill is a major benefit. Training your crew in that skill will result in a far better chance of causing module damage to the enemy tanks. When the skill is active, module damage is 100%, whereas without that skill the chance of module damage is between, as stated in the modules above, 27% and 100% depending on the modules you hit. So as I said, if you look back in the video, look at the different variations of the percentages of damage: 27%, 33%, 45%. But with sniper skill trained, it becomes 100%. Remember that all your trained crew skills are active in all types of tank: lights, mediums, heavies and TDs. So even though you've trained your repair crew or your firefighting crew under your heavy tanks, it comes into effect for all your tanks, as does the sniper under your TD crew skills. It also works in all other tanks. So why do we bother with modular crew damage? Why not just kill the tank? Here's why. All these module damages and crew injuries will result in extra XP. and this will assist greatly in achieving that ace medal, as the more XP you earn in the battle, the better the chance of an ace being won, that gold name of tanking achievement. So, let's recap. Points to remember. Capping bases and supremacy or encounter battles return extra XP. Killing tanks returns extra XP. Spotting tanks returns XP. But your main source of XP is by your module damage and your crew injuries. So the more active you are in the battle, the higher the opportunity of receiving a second, a first, or even that elusive ace mastery badge. I hope this has helped. I hope it's helped you understand the requirements of causing the damage and the crew injuries. Learning where the modules and the crew members are in each tank is also a part of being ahead in the game of the fellow players. So do your homework. Know where to hit the tank and what damage is caused. All that extra effort will see you get the results you aim for that little bit easier, give you more XP in battle, and more beneficial to you and your team. Thanks for watching, folks, and happy tanking. Ta-ra.